Hello everyone, my name is Catherine and I want to show you what I'm doing today. I think this is going to be a longer one because what I want to do is make a box to hold all of the gel pens in this giant wheel of gel pens. These gel pens came in this huge wheel. I got them for a very good deal, but they are Creatology's Color Aegis gel pens. They came in this huge wheel, but that's not a very efficient way to store them. So whoever designed that probably wasn't thinking about how the person who got them was going to keep them. So I want to make a box to keep them in, because that wheel's just not very efficient. So I've got my scoring board, and I have got some cardstock here, which actually I need to cut the edge off of. The edge on these is a little bit tattered, so I'm going to clean that up real quick too. Let's see, just to there. There we go, that's better. Do the same for the other one. It's a little messed up too. There we are. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is lay this cardstock on my scoring board and take some of these pens, and this is a pack of 50 gel pens. So I think what I want to do is do 5 inner boxes and 1 outer box to hold all 50 gel pens. That way there will be 10 gel pens in a box. So I'm going to be designing the inner boxes first thing and then use those 5 inner boxes to create the outer box. So I'm going to want to do sides, and those are going to want to be 3/8 of an inch wide. Actually, let's mark down how tall the pen is before we do anything else, because we don't need to score all the way to the bottom of this paper. Let's see. So I want it to be that tall, which is just 1/8 of an inch shy of 6 inches. And then that's also going to want to be a pen's width wide, because it'll make the bottom of the box. So 3/8 of an inch. And then go back to this. Okay, so we've got 3/8 of an inch over here, which is going to create the side of the box. Then we are going to want a width of 10 pens. So rather than do 3/8 of an inch times 10, because that may end up with a measurement that's not exactly the right width, I'm just going to grab out 10 pens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab out 10 pens and lay them down and measure to that width. Go. Because then we know that 10 pens will fit in. And once we've got one measured, we can do that for all of them. And this way, you see how I'm making the box. That way, if you have pens that are of a different width than mine, you don't have to worry, and you can just make it to whatever width your pens are. There we go. There we are. And then at 3/8 of an inch again, which is going to be right there. And then that same width. So 10 pens width again, which I could actually measure, but I may just take a piece of cardboard and put a mark, because then I can just, there we go, right there. And then at 3/8 of an inch, which is another right there. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to want to do is cut this apart, and I will use it as a template for all others. Excuse me a moment. Sorry, had a cough there. Alright. So first thing we're going to want to do is cut across the bottom, because that cut goes all the way along. Bottom, there we go. Set that aside for something else. And then cut across this side at this width mark. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Oh, but that cut was not straight. There we go. Much better. Alright. And then what I want to do is have the front of the box, which is going to be this piece right here, be lower. And actually that red line is just about perfect for that. So I will take and cut down the side slit to that red mark on both of these sides, and then cut along that red mark, since it's so conveniently right there already. There we go. Alright, and then that gives me the template. Now I just have to run up a couple more. Let's see, I'm going to need 5. So let's start by cutting 5 sheets of cardstock to the correct height. Let's see. And that cutoff piece is not going to be tall enough. Nope. That's okay. there we go. 5 boxes like that. And then 1. Okay, and then the only thing left to do is the outer box. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is mark it for the sides at the width of 3 of these boxes. For the outside sides, which is going to be right there. And we will mark this all the way down because we want this to have a hinged top on it. And then mark it at the width of the boxes, which is going to be right there. I'm going to give it an extra 1/8 just so that everything fits together. And then the middle section at the width of 5 of the boxes. That's not going to turn out. This paper isn't wide enough. Huh. See, this paper's not going to do it. If I do there, then that's not going to go all the way around. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Actually, we'll do it as a glue up. It'll be fine. Okay. Let's do that one again. Oh, wait, what am I scoring there for? I'm not. That's stupid. What am I doing that for? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Okay, so right there. Now I've got to remeasure. Just take your time with it. Just take your time with it. It's advice I am giving myself right now because I need to just chill out for a couple seconds and just take my time and make sure that I'm doing it right. I don't have to be fast. I have to be correct. Okay. There we go. So that'll give me, when they're all in, that'll give me most of it. And this is why we keep the scrap cut off bits of paper, because what we can do is just take one with some nice butterflies, yeah, and glue it on to give ourselves a bit of extra length. Let's see. And that's going to give us just enough extra length. So let's glue that on. Although I don't know, that paper's not very complementarily colored. What about that one? No, it's not going to go either way. That's okay. It'll be fine. It will be fine. We just want to... But do we want to glue it? Do we want to tape it? I think we want to tape it. I think we are feeling like we didn't heat up our iron, and we are not going to wait for glue to dry before we continue with this project. That's okay. And that is a valid feeling, and we are running with it. There we go. Just all the way down this whole section. And across the ends. And both of the ends. And then some in the middle. Make it look sort of like a ladder. Just remember, if your paper ever isn't big enough, just make it bigger. Do the same thing with wood. If you're carving and the wood isn't big enough, glue on more wood. Or fabric. If your fabric isn't a big enough piece, sew another piece onto it. Whatever. Just make it work. Who cares? If it doesn't match and there are seams, if anybody asks, you just tell them you did it that way on purpose. And then across those sections, because I don't trust it. And a triangle shaped pattern because triangles are strong. This is probably going to be more tape than was necessary, but you know, whatever. I want it to stay in place, and it's, by gum, it's going to. There we go. All right, now pull all the tape backing off. There we are. Just all the way down. Until it works. If it doesn't work, make it work anyway. Because creative thinking is the basis of all problem solving. And if you have a problem, you just haven't thought about it creatively enough. There we go. Last piece. Okay. Now, line it up very carefully, making sure that it is straight and even, and then press it on. Just give it a good scrub with your hand so that it stays where you want it to, because you're going to get insistent about that. It will stay in place, or so help it. You will know why. All right, there we go. Now, just line that one up and score it with your folder at about there. Actually, without creasing it, let's just see what we see. Just testing it and checking it to make sure that everything's the same size, because I don't want the same problem happening twice. Okay, so lined up. There we are. Haha! And that really will give me the box. Now we need a top, which needs to be the height that we want it to fold down over. So here we go. Let's turn this and work from this side. The height that we want it to fold down over, which is going to be about an inch, I think. Yeah, about an inch. Oh, go, and don't put holes in things, for crying out loud. Don't put holes in things. Your scoreboard isn't long enough, so just move your paper. Okay, so that will be the flap that folds down over. Then it needs to be the width of the box, which is, you know what, just taking it over here and measuring it, is 2 1/2. Actually, 1/8 less than 2 1/2, which is fine. So just line that up with the 1, and then 1/8 less than 2 1/2, and then don't go all the way down to the edge. Move your paper. There we go. Okay, and then that's the top. So then we need the height of one of these, which is like that. And then just pick it up and move it. And don't knock things over or break things. And then the base, which is also 2 1/2. So just turn it around, line that up at 3, which means is that 1, 2 1/2. Yeah, it's already close enough. We're not even going to bother cutting that. Okay, perfect. So it's all marked out. Now we're ready for cutting. So remember where our top is. Okay, this is going to be the bottom. Same thing that we did with the other boxes. We're just going to cut up the bottom to our score mark. Seems like more than 2 1/2 inches, but I just measured it. I know it's just my brain playing tricks on me, telling me that I'm wrong, but I'm not. Unless I am. In which case, I suppose I'll just be wrong then. Okay, and then those are going to fold, and then, so this is going to need to be like that and like that, and then turn it around and do the same thing for the other side, like that and like that. So the first two marks on the side to the first score mark. And then, oh, we didn't build this right. Oh, fudge. Okay, that's all right. No, it'll still work. We just have to, let's see, so this is going to be the back. Which means this comes up to here, comes across. Okay, okay, yep. And that's the side. All right, and then toss that aside for the moment. Okay, and this now becomes the sides of the top, so it's going to want to go to there and to there, but it's going to need to be shortened, and I'm not measuring, I'm just doing it anyway, there-ish. Okay, okay. Now let's assemble the base of the box first and then do the top. Okay, so flip it over, do all of our folds. All of the folds. There we are. Okay, now flip it back over and tape it. I'm going to use my wider double-sided tape for this, because there's no reason not to, and it's got that handy-dandy tear-off bit, which is nice. Okay, and then the inner flap is going to be the writing one, because the flowered one isn't getting enough showtime, because it's a smaller piece of paper. So we're just going to take that and put the tape on the inner bottom flap. And down the middle too, just because everything's going to want to really be stuck down, and along the edges. Okay, now same thing that we did with the other ones. Flaps, oh, go, fold up, go along the crease, and get stuck down. Fold up, go along the crease, and get stuck down. Fold up, go along the crease, and get stuck down. And then this should, okay, why is that? That's odd. That's okay, that will trim down. That is just odd. Okay, and then that closes into there, and that presses there, and then those will get taped down, but not yet. So that needs to be trimmed off right there, because it's a little too long, which is just weird. Shouldn't end up that way. I've never had a box do that before. That's okay, whatever. Go, flatten it, stick it down really well at the bottom. And then these sides are going to need to be taped together, and that's a really thin overlap, so I'm going to want the thin tape for that, which I just had. There we go. That's going to be about that long. And it's going to go on the brown side. Okay, come on, you don't stick to me, stick to the paper. Go and just stick it as close to the edge as possible, and I cut that a little bit long, but that's okay because that's what scissors are for. Things just trim right off. There we are. And then take and overlap it just the necessary amount. Okay, that's not covering it enough. Oh, don't do that. There we are, and then test it for fit. So grab my 5 other boxes and slide them down inside. Perfect. Okay, now the lid. So this is going to fold over, and these are going to tuck underneath. So those need to be taped down, and that'll be it, and that'll be that. And then all of those pens that are in that great big wheel will fit into here, in theory. Okay. Too much tape. That's okay. And then the other side. And just sure. And then everything closes, and there we go. Oh, that one was an adventure. Oh, but it's done, and I can start organizing my pens. That is what I did today, and that took me an hour and 10 minutes. Remember to subscribe, like up this video if you liked my process on this. I'm not too thrilled with it. It wasn't the best box I've ever made, but it functions, it works, and that is the most important thing. And remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!